A quiet trail winds through the mountains. The air smells of pine and cold stone. And somewhere nearby, hidden in the trees, a mountain lion has noticed you. But you have not noticed it. What happens next is something most people never realize, because the animal is already watching long before a human senses danger. Mountain lions live across large areas of North and South America. In North America, they roam forests, deserts, and mountain ranges from Canada to the southern United States. They are known by many names: cougar, puma, catamount. Yet despite their size and power, they remain one of the most elusive predators on the continent. Most people who walk through cougar territory never see one. But that does not mean the animal is not there. Mountain lions are masters of concealment. Their tawny coats blend perfectly with dry grass, rocks, and tree shadows. Their movements are quiet and controlled. Even a full-grown lion weighing over 150 pounds can pass through dense forest almost without a sound. For the lion, survival depends on remaining unseen. Its usual prey includes deer, elk calves, raccoons, and smaller mammals. These animals rely on hearing and smell to detect predators. So the cougar has evolved to move slowly and silently. Every step is deliberate. Every pause calculated. When the animal hunts, it does not chase prey over long distances. Instead, it stalks. The process begins with observation. From a hidden position, the lion studies movement. It looks for weakness. An injured animal. A young deer separated from the herd. Or something moving alone. This strategy conserves energy. For a predator that may hunt only once every several days, wasted effort could mean going hungry. Now imagine a different situation. A human enters this landscape. Walking along a quiet trail. Perhaps hiking. Perhaps jogging. From the human perspective, the forest feels calm. Birds call in the trees. Wind moves softly through the branches. Nothing appears out of place. But for a mountain lion, this new movement triggers attention. The animal does not immediately see a threat. Instead, it sees something unfamiliar. Something large. Something walking alone. At first, curiosity often drives the lion's behavior. Unlike wolves, which rely heavily on group cooperation, mountain lions are solitary hunters. They investigate the world cautiously. So the lion begins to watch. It lowers its body into tall grass or shadow. Its ears rotate forward. Its eyes track every movement. The human continues walking, perhaps unaware that another set of eyes is now following from a distance. Mountain lions possess extraordinary vision. Their eyes are adapted for low-light conditions, allowing them to hunt effectively at dawn and dusk. Even in dim forest light, they can detect small movements from far away. But vision is only part of their advantage. Their hearing is equally sharp. A snapped twig. A shifting backpack. The rhythmic sound of footsteps on dirt. Each noise provides information. The cougar is building a picture of the situation. What kind of animal is this? Is it strong? Is it vulnerable? Is it aware? These questions guide the lion's decisions. Because attacking the wrong target can be dangerous. Injuries are serious risks for solitary predators. Unlike animals that live in groups, a mountain lion cannot rely on others to hunt if it becomes injured. A broken tooth or damaged leg could lead to starvation. So caution always comes first. For this reason, most mountain lions choose avoidance. If the human appears confident, alert, and large, the lion often slips away silently. The encounter ends before it truly begins. But sometimes the situation unfolds differently. Certain conditions can trigger a more active response. One of those conditions is movement. Predators instinctively respond to motion. Running animals resemble prey. When a deer bolts through the forest, the lion's brain reacts instantly. The same instinct can sometimes activate when a human runs through cougar territory. Joggers on remote trails. Cyclists moving quickly downhill. Even children playing near forest edges. Rapid movement can trigger the lion's stalking behavior. Not because the cougar sees a human as normal prey, but because the motion pattern resembles something it has hunted before. And so the stalking begins. The mountain lion lowers its body closer to the ground. Its muscles tighten. Each step becomes slower than the last. Instead of walking directly toward the person, it moves in arcs, using rocks, bushes, and tree trunks as cover. Its tail remains low and steady. Its ears stay focused forward. The animal is now within the first stage of a hunting sequence. But this stage is still cautious. At this point, the lion is not committed to an attack. It is observing and evaluating. For humans, this phase often passes completely unnoticed. The cougar might follow from a distance of 50 yards. Sometimes closer. Sometimes farther. The forest itself hides the predator. Leaves break up its outline. Shadows conceal movement. The human continues down the trail, unaware that the lion has begun adjusting its path to match theirs. Step by step. Quietly. Silently. Matching speed. Studying posture. Even breathing patterns. To the cougar, this is information gathering. Is the animal in front aware of danger? Does it appear injured? Does it notice the environment? Most importantly, does it run? Running changes everything. For a predator built for ambush, sudden movement can trigger a powerful instinct. Mountain lions are capable of explosive acceleration. They can leap more than 30 feet in a single bound. Their back legs are among the strongest of any North American predator. Combined with sharp retractable claws and powerful jaws, this makes them highly efficient hunters. But efficiency does not mean recklessness. Even during a stalk, the lion hesitates. It watches body language. If the human suddenly stops and turns, the lion often freezes. Completely still. This is another advantage of its camouflage. A stationary cougar can be extremely difficult to detect. Sometimes the animal simply melts back into vegetation, disappearing before the human ever realizes it was there. But occasionally, the situation continues. The lion remains curious. It keeps following, each step bringing it closer. Not in a straight line, but in quiet circles through the forest. Always staying behind cover. Always watching. At this stage, the human has entered the lion's hunting zone. This does not mean an attack is inevitable. Far from it. In fact, attacks by mountain lions on humans are extremely rare. Across North America, millions of people hike, camp, and explore cougar habitats every year. Only a tiny number of encounters ever escalate. Still, understanding why stalking occurs helps explain the behavior. For the cougar, the forest is a landscape of opportunities and risks. Every movement is interpreted through instinct and experience. And when a human unknowingly enters that landscape alone, sometimes the predator chooses to watch a little longer. Sometimes it follows. And sometimes, for reasons rooted in ancient survival instincts, the stalking continues. But what happens next depends on something surprisingly simple. Whether the human realizes they are not alone. Because the moment a person becomes aware of the mountain lion, the entire encounter can change. And the predator that once seemed invisible must suddenly make a decision. Continue the stalk. Or disappear into the wilderness once again. For several minutes, the forest feels unchanged. The trail bends around rocks and fallen logs. Wind moves through the trees. Bird calls echo in the distance. Yet behind the quiet rhythm of the forest, the mountain lion is still there. Watching. Following. Carefully matching the movement of the person ahead. To understand why the cougar continues to stalk, it helps to understand how this predator hunts in the wild. Mountain lions are ambush hunters. Unlike wolves, which chase prey across long distances, cougars depend on patience. They study the terrain. They position themselves above or behind their target. Then they close the distance slowly, step by step. The final attack, if it occurs, lasts only seconds. But the preparation can take several minutes or even longer. This strategy works because the cougar relies on surprise. If prey detects the lion too early, the advantage disappears. A deer that sees the predator at a distance can escape quickly through dense forest. So the lion must remain hidden until the last possible moment. Now imagine the situation with a human. The lion does not see a familiar prey animal. But the stalking behavior may still begin because certain conditions resemble a hunting scenario. One of the most important triggers is isolation. Animals separated from a group are more vulnerable. When a person hikes alone in cougar territory, they unintentionally resemble solitary prey. The lion's instincts become curious. Is this creature aware? Is it dangerous? Or is it simply another animal moving through the forest? As the cougar follows, it constantly evaluates. Unlike many predators, mountain lions are highly cautious. They prefer low-risk opportunities. Their survival depends on avoiding unnecessary danger. So the lion studies body language. Humans move differently from deer. Their posture is upright. Their steps are uneven. Their arms swing in unfamiliar ways. This unusual movement pattern often creates hesitation. The cougar cannot immediately categorize the human as prey. Instead, it watches longer. Sometimes the lion begins to move closer. It may approach from behind, or shift along the hillside to maintain visual contact. The distance slowly decreases. 80 yards. 60 yards. Perhaps even closer. But the lion still avoids open space. Every movement uses cover. Bushes. Rocks. Fallen trees. The cougar blends into the environment so well that even experienced hikers rarely notice it. And yet, the human body has subtle ways of sensing change. Many people who later report cougar encounters describe a strange feeling. A sense of being watched. A sudden quiet in the forest. This sensation may come from small environmental signals. Birds sometimes react to predators. Squirrels may freeze or make alarm calls. Even the wind seems to shift differently when a large animal moves nearby. If the person stops walking, the lion stops too. Its body lowers to the ground. Completely motionless. Only its eyes move. Waiting. Listening. If the person continues walking, the lion resumes its slow advance. But something interesting happens when humans change behavior. When a person turns around suddenly, the cougar often freezes again. Predators prefer attacking from behind. Eye contact changes the dynamic. Now the human is no longer unaware. The cougar senses attention. And attention can mean danger. This moment becomes a turning point in many encounters. The lion must decide whether to continue observing or retreat. But retreat is not always immediate. Curiosity can keep the cougar nearby, especially if the terrain still offers good cover. In some cases, the lion circles, moving quietly through brush while keeping the person in view. The human might hear something then. A rustle of leaves. A soft step on gravel. Sometimes only a glimpse. A flash of tawny fur between trees. For most people, this is the first clear signal that a large predator is present. And at that moment, instinct often pushes humans toward the wrong response. Running. Running is natural. For thousands of years, humans have reacted to danger by fleeing. But for a stalking predator, running sends a powerful signal. It resembles prey attempting escape. And the mountain lion's brain is built to respond instantly. Within seconds, the animal can accelerate with incredible speed. Its long hind legs launch the body forward. Its spine flexes like a spring. Even on steep terrain, the cougar can move with remarkable agility. But here is the critical detail. Most lions still hesitate. Despite their ability to catch prey, they remain careful animals. Humans are larger than most prey species. They stand upright. They make loud noises. They carry unfamiliar objects. All of these factors introduce uncertainty. So instead of attacking immediately, many cougars pause again. They study the reaction. This pause creates an opportunity. When a human stands their ground, the encounter often changes dramatically. A person who stops running and turns to face the lion appears larger and more confident. Raising arms. Opening a jacket. Standing tall. These actions increase the visual size of the human figure. To the cougar, this suddenly looks less like prey and more like a potential threat. The lion's instincts begin to shift. Predators constantly balance risk and reward. and attacking a large, alert animal carries significant risk. In many real encounters, the mountain lion begins to back away slowly, not turning its back completely, but creating distance. Sometimes it climbs onto rocks or fallen logs, watching from a safer position. Other times it slips quietly into the trees, returning to the deep cover where it feels secure. This withdrawal is not defeat. It is strategy. The cougar has learned something important. The strange animal in front of it is aware, alert, possibly dangerous. And for a predator that survives by avoiding injury, caution wins. Still, there are rare situations where the encounter continues. Young mountain lions sometimes behave differently. Juveniles are still learning hunting skills. Their experience with humans may be limited. Curiosity can override caution. Similarly, lions that live near expanding human settlements may encounter people more frequently. Over time, some individuals become less fearful. This does not mean they become aggressive, but their comfort with human presence may increase. And in those cases, stalking behavior might last longer. Yet even then, the cougar is still evaluating, watching posture, listening for sound, searching for signs of weakness. But the forest itself also plays a role. Terrain shapes every encounter. Steep slopes, thick vegetation, narrow trails. All of these features influence how both animals move. In open ground, the cougar feels exposed. In dense forest, it feels invisible. So the lion chooses locations carefully. If the trail enters open space, the lion often stops following. The advantage of surprise disappears. And without that advantage, the hunt loses its appeal. So the cougar remains hidden at the forest edge, watching the human leave its territory. Quietly, patiently, until the movement fades into the distance. Then the lion turns back into the wilderness. Because for this predator, survival has always depended on knowing when to stop the hunt. Most encounters between humans and mountain lions end quietly. No dramatic confrontation. No attack. Just a brief moment where two very different species become aware of each other. And then the forest returns to silence. But the behavior of a stalking cougar reveals something important about how predators survive. Mountain lions did not become successful hunters by taking unnecessary risks. Their entire strategy revolves around patience and precision. In the wild, even a small injury can have serious consequences. A damaged tooth might make it difficult to hold prey. A twisted leg could slow a chase. For solitary predators, these injuries can threaten survival. Unlike pack animals, cougars hunt alone. If they cannot hunt, they cannot eat. So every decision must balance energy, opportunity, and safety. This is why stalking behavior does not always lead to an attack. In many cases, the lion simply gathers information. It observes movement. It studies posture. It listens carefully. Then it decides the situation is not worth the risk. And it disappears. But the rare cases when mountain lions do attack humans often involve unusual circumstances. Young cougars that have recently left their mothers may experiment with different prey. Their experience is limited. They are still learning which animals are safe to pursue. Occasionally, this curiosity leads them to investigate humans more closely. Another factor is habitat overlap. As human communities expand into wilderness areas, encounters become more likely. Trails cut through cougar territory. Homes appear along forest edges. Domestic animals sometimes attract predators. These changes create situations where lions and humans share the same landscape more frequently than before. Yet even in these environments, mountain lions usually remain hidden. They travel mostly at night. They avoid busy areas. And they adjust their movement patterns to reduce contact with people. This adaptability is one reason cougars have survived across such a wide range of habitats. From snowy mountain ranges to dry desert canyons. From dense forests to rocky cliffs. Few predators are as versatile. Their bodies are built for stealth. A mountain lion's paws are large and soft, allowing quiet movement across rough terrain. Its tail helps maintain balance during powerful leaps. Its flexible spine provides explosive speed during short ambushes. All of these features evolved for hunting deer and other natural prey. Humans simply do not fit neatly into that pattern. But when stalking behavior occurs, it offers a rare glimpse into the predator's decision-making process. The cougar studies. The human reacts. And both animals influence the outcome of the encounter. One of the most effective responses humans can make is maintaining awareness. Looking around. Standing tall. Making eye contact if the lion appears. These actions signal confidence. To the cougar, this changes the situation completely. The animal no longer sees an unaware creature moving through its territory. Instead, it sees a large animal that recognizes its presence. This awareness removes the predator's greatest advantage: surprise. Without surprise, the ambush strategy loses its power. And without that advantage, the cougar often chooses the safer option: retreat. Still, the encounter can remain tense for several minutes. A lion may watch from a distance, standing on a rock or hillside. Its ears forward, its body alert. It studies every movement carefully. Sometimes it follows at a greater distance for a short time. Not stalking now. Simply ensuring the unfamiliar visitor continues moving away. Eventually, the human leaves the lion's hunting area. The sounds of footsteps fade. The forest grows quiet again. And the cougar returns to its normal routine. Searching for deer trails. Listening for movement in the brush. Waiting for the next opportunity that fits its instincts perfectly. Because despite their power and reputation, mountain lions are not rulers of the forest. They are participants in a delicate balance. Deer populations influence their survival. Weather patterns affect prey movement. Competition from other predators shapes territory. Every decision they make connects to this larger ecological system. Even their rare encounters with humans become part of that balance. In many regions, mountain lions help regulate deer populations. By removing weaker animals, they indirectly influence plant growth and forest health. This role keeps ecosystems functioning. Predators shape landscapes in ways that are not always obvious. And the quiet presence of a cougar in the mountains is part of that natural design. For humans walking through these environments, understanding this behavior changes perspective. A stalking mountain lion is not acting out of cruelty or aggression. It is responding to instinct, to movement, to patterns that have guided predators for thousands of years. Most of the time, the encounter ends long before a human even realizes it began. A lion watches briefly, then fades into the trees, leaving behind nothing but silent footprints in the soil. The person continues down the trail, unaware that they were once the center of a predator's attention. And somewhere behind them, hidden among rocks and shadow, the mountain lion turns away. Not because it lacks strength. Not because it cannot hunt. But because survival in the wild often depends on knowing when a hunt is not worth the risk. In the end, the forest belongs to neither predator nor human alone. It is a shared landscape. A place where ancient instincts still guide the lives of wild animals. And where, sometimes, unseen eyes follow quietly through the trees. Watching. Learning. Then disappearing once again into the vast silence of the wilderness.